Colby Blaine has seemingly made a quick transition to successful head coach. The former Montana Western player and assistant coach is in his first season as the head men's basketball coach at the College of Idaho, an NAIA Division II program in Caldwell.
One of my former bosses told me that being a head coach is an out-of-body experience, and he was completely right. As an assistant, you think everything that you say is right. As the head coach, you don't think anything is right. So it's been fun, though. I tell you what we have. We have great veterans on our team. We have 9 players back from our Final Four team last year, and they really know how to compete and play together as a team and build a culture. So it's been an easy transition for me so far.
Blaine must be pushing some of the right buttons. The Yotes are 13-1 this season and undefeated against NAIA teams, reaching the #1 spot in the latest NAIA Division II Top 25 poll. It's the first time since the 1991-92 season that COI has had the top ranking.
We want to be the #1 team in the country. We want to compete for national championships every day. That's our program goal. There's no question about it. But for us to reach our max potential, every individual's got to keep growing, both physically and mentally. And that's what we talk about every day. That's our approach, is how do we grow as individuals and as a team more mentally than physically. So we do a lot of things pretty well. There's things we can clean up, little X's and O's. But at the end of the day, if every individual can learn how far they can push themselves, that's what's going to give us a chance to compete for national championships.
The Yotes know what it takes to compete. They advanced to the NAIA National Tournament each of the past 2 years, reaching the semifinals of last year's tournament. Blaine is now tasked with putting together another strong season, and to get there, he's relying on some of the things he learned during his stay at Montana Western. He joined the Bulldogs as a player in 2007 and graduated in 2009. He then spent 2 seasons on Coach Steve Keller's staff.
I coached for him 12 years ago, and I still use things that he's taught me. He's taught me about being consistent. He's very consistent in his approach. He's taught me to keep it simple. And he's taught me that at the end of the day, everybody's going to push you to be your best, but when you get done with it, those guys that push you are going to love you and be there to support you.
Keller spent 11 seasons as the Western head coach, leading the Bulldogs to 8 NAIA National Tournament appearances in the past 9 seasons. He left Dillon this offseason to take over the program at the University of Providence, where he has the Argos out to an 8-2 start this season. Blaine was a finalist to become Keller's successor at Western, but the Boise native withdrew his name from consideration once the COI job came open.
Well, I've always loved Montana. I spent 2 years in Dillon at Montana Western. I learned so much being up here. I love the state, the competitive battle that every city has, the basketball spirit that's in this state. I've always said if I could get a chance to come back here and coach in the state, I would love to. So it was an internal battle for sure during that week where potentially Western might have been an option, and then College of Idaho opened. It was a battle, but both are great programs, and so I'm feeling very lucky just to be a head coach at one of them.
Keller's move was part of an off-season shakeup in the Frontier Conference, which plays at the NAIA Division I level. Mike Larson took over at Western, and Kurt Paulson replaced Carson Cunningham at Carroll College. Still, Blaine's COI team, which plays in the Cascade Collegiate Conference, is 4-0 against teams from the Frontier this season, including a 77-62 win over Western on November 24th.
Both conferences are very close. We both play each other quite a bit. We've played 4 Frontier Conference schools this year, so we're always checking scores, trying to compare, well, okay, this team did this, that team did that. We're always calling each other back and forth just to say, hey, we're playing so-and-so this week. You guys played them in the preseason. What do you think? So we're very close between the conferences. And me having coached in the Frontier for a couple of years, I know a lot of these guys that are still in the conference.